Hello and welcome to Black Renaissance. I'm Liam Maitland, filling in for Christian Ayres. We have a wonderful show for you today. First up, we have an Oakland activist here to talk about her organisation, Youth Uprising. We'll also see my colleague Kristen interview with author, producer and director Bill Duke. Later, I'll be interviewing the co-founder and co-director of Impact Hub Oakland, Ashara Ekundayo. Last but not least, we'll hear from Roland Moore, an entrepreneur who created a lotto ticket scratching tool that we hope will help us win the lotto. But first, let's welcome Alice Simmons of Youth Uprising. Welcome, Alice. Great to have you here.
Thank you. Great to be here.
This started in 2005.
Yes.
What inspired you to kick this off?
Yeah, I was really inspired by the resiliency and the possibility that young people have every day in the face of devastation. If they can be hopeful, don't we have an obligation to help them have more to be hopeful about?
And what was missing in the neighborhood in East Oakland at that time in 2005?
Yeah, it's a great question because, like so many cities across America, everything was missing.
Yeah.
No banks, no supermarkets, very few caring adults, no opportunity to be connected to work or meaningful career pathways. And we felt like that was just not going to do it. That was not going to help us be the nation that we promise.
Tell me about the tenants of the program. I know it's split up into 4 key groups.
Yes.
Walk us through those.
So the organization really is founded on the premise that young people are not the problem to be solved, but the solution to be had. And so everything sits inside a youth leadership development framework. And the programming is really across 4 areas. So you have art and expression, so music recording and film and dance and theater and everything that you could want. You have career and education, so tutoring, college readiness, all kinds of support, and connections to real jobs. In fact, when I left today, Safeway is there interviewing. They hired 32 people last week, and so we're hoping to do the same thing this week. And so that's our career and education department. But then there's a health and wellness department. So there's a full-blown clinic on campus that Children's Hospital runs. There are 11 mental health clinicians and everything that you could want, including a wellness clinic with acupressure, acupuncture, massage therapy. And then last but not least, we really do see youth leadership development and civic engagement as a standalone piece. So young people on boards and commissions and advisors to the mayor and to the chief of police and to the probation department.
And are you finding that the youth or the young people who come through your program are feeling that they have a voice, maybe perhaps in a way they did not before? Absolutely.
The thing about our youth, you know, we were all young, is that you have a sense. We were. It was long ago for me, but I remember a sense of invincibility. And we're in this process of identifying who we are, shaping ourselves into the future. And so given an opportunity, young people step right into it.
And how do you change corporate America? How do you change investment in the neighborhood? How do you change the minds of, the banks to go into the neighborhood? A grocer selling, fresh produce.
Right.
How do you create that shift with Youth Uprising?
This is a much more difficult shift. People think that the hard part is working with young people, and I'm quite comfortable with young people that other people are afraid of. I see the child in them, and I know that love changes everything. And when you start to talk about economic development and building a neighborhood that has all of the tenets of a healthy neighborhood, you do have to start engaging corporate America in a very different way. And so we do that. We hopefully I'll be doing a tech talk with Google soon. I actually am the chair of employer engagement for the Workforce Investment Board.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so it's a more difficult lift in some ways, but I think that corporate America wants to be helpful. We need to help them figure out how to do that.
How many young people have gone through your program in 10 years?
13,000 unduplicated young people in 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are you most proud of?
There are lots of things that I'm proud of, but I'm most proud of the young people. There's a cadre of young people that I opened with in May of 2005 who have now gone on to graduate from college and get master's degrees and are into their careers. And so this morning I did a coaching session with Summer Clark, who is now at Deloitte & Touche.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to help a young woman navigate through corporate America who comes from the neighborhood. So there's a lot to be proud of.
You do have a lot to be proud of. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
And for those who want more information, you can visit youthuprising.org. That's youthuprising.org. We'll be back with more Black Renaissance after the break. My colleague and co-host Kristen Ayres interviews Hollywood producer and legend Bill Duke. Back in a moment.